Well, firstly, Jake, thank you for joining us. And now we are going to talk about Shamrock on the 14th of November. Have a card on which you're taking part in against a gentleman by the name of, we're going to call him Fazlo. You can say his surname if you want, or have a go. It gets you the most points, I believe, in Scrabble, if you get it. Now,
I don't think I can. I don't think I can pronounce any part of his name, so I don't think that'll be an issue there.
yeah, it is.
He only gets big envelopes to his house, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's a mouthful, but it's a fight that's happening. Obviously, you yourself now you've recently had a couple of losses. You're looking to get back onto winning ways. Let's put it that way. What are you doing? On a mental aspect and a training aspect to just turn things around a bit. It's not, you don't need to reinvent the wheel, but what are you doing yourself to get this win streak going?
Yeah, 2015 was definitely a rough year for me. Just taking too many fights too close together, and just not doing the proper things, taking late notice fights against top level competition, and switching fighters around and things like that. So basically, man, I kept everything the same. I brought in a couple of new coaches, got back with some people who I worked with back a few years ago, and this fight is actually a kickboxing bout, so it'll be my professional debut in kickboxing. I do have a few professional boxing bouts as well as the MMA, but I just really wanted to branch out and challenge myself into something new, and help build my skills a little bit better than what they were.
I was going to say, is this going to, because it's then obviously there's no ground game, is this then so you can purposefully sharpen up your striking? Is this to force you to maybe striking only fight? It's going to you're going to have to work on it more.
Yeah, I'm still grappling one day a week, but other than that, man, I'm doing a lot of thigh pad work, a lot of mitt work, a lot of sparring, things like that, working on my footwork, just going back to the basics, man, and like you said, really developing my stand-up. I've always, really been fond of the stand-up game, and I like I said, I really like to test myself. I think, obviously, grappling is a huge aspect. I grew up wrestling. I've wrestled for a very long time. I think I'm well versatile on the ground, and I think there was a few pieces to the puzzle that I could put together as far as the stand-up, and that's where the boxing and the kickboxing comes in, and that's like I said, it's just another way for me to challenge myself, and like I said, focus on that stand-up game, and just tie everything together, man, and become even more well-rounded.
Yeah, it is common these days that MMA fighters, back when MMA started, you would be from one particular martial art and you would come in and you would fight, and then over time people would come into MMA and it would just be MMA based, and now it's almost kind of going back to, all right, well, I'm going to go just do a K1 fight, I'm going to do a boxing bout, or I'm going to go do grappling competitions. It's almost like it's went back to what it was, where people are studying the singular art just to focus a bit more, and because forcing themselves to have to do that.
I tell you what it reminds me of. I tell you who was very common for doing this was Shoney Carter. Would enter his students into, say, a Muay Thai event, and he wouldn't tell them until fairly close to the event. So it was all kind of like, shock and surprise. He would say, "Oh, by the way, you're fighting in 2 weeks' time," and Muay Thai night.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Oh, right, okay." So it was a case of like always being ready and having all your skill set ready. So and I think he believed it worked.
And I think it's starting to go that way a lot with a lot more fighters. You're starting to see with, especially MMA fighters, where they go to, like I said before, just grappling. And do you find that it will? And it will help yourself, but do you find it's going to be a common feature in MMA?
I think it's definitely something that's going to be, beneficial for MMA. And like you said, I think MMA is coming around full circle to where a lot of guys are, they're starting to, begin training at 15, 16 years old, and by the time they're 18, 19, and, they're only doing MMA. They didn't kickbox. They didn't do MMA, or they didn't do boxing. They didn't grow up wrestling, and they're strict MMA fighters. And I think it's just great for all of combat sports for everybody to just kind of branch out and do new things, man. Challenge yourself and build yourself up, and why not? We're all part of the fight game, man. We whether you're a boxer, whether you're a kickboxer, whether you're mixed martial artist, we all get in there. We all throw leather, and we're all warriors at heart, man. So to me, it really doesn't matter what the discipline is. I keep the fight the same. I'm going to go in there, implement my game plan, and like I said, just go out there, have fun, man. Put on a good show for the fans, and make sure I get my hand raised at the end of the night.
And I think, to be honest, the sport being still very young, everyone's still trying to work out the right way to do this thing anyway.
Yeah.
And it's still not been decided yet.
No.
It's so.
There is no right or wrong way.
There are some wrong ways to do it, but nobody knows the absolute right way yet.
Yes.
So they're still trying to work that one out. But
it's still ironing out the creases, so to speak.
I love it. The fact that we've been able to sort of like watch it born and raised.
Yeah, it is. And you said before about you took fights this year that you took them quite close together. And are you looking then for 2016? There's going to be a more mature person. From experience, like you've just had this year, where you'll pick your fights a lot smarter, and you'll pick the times that you fight a lot smarter. And is this a great learning curve you've taken from all this?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like I said, I put myself into some really bad situations, just, taking fights to where, I wasn't in the gym training, year-round, and, maybe I was hitting 2 to 3 classes a week instead of training twice a day, and, I was just kind of focusing on other things, and, not really, like you said, I'm still young in the sport, even though, I started fighting at 19 years old. I'm 25 now. I've never really had a true coach that I could look up to like I did in wrestling, or have that team that really helped build me until about the last 3 or 4 months. And like I said, I think it's going to make a huge difference in the coming years. And on top of that, man, like I said, it's just about one of those things of I was being a little naive, and like I said, thinking I could take on the world, and fighting guys from big gyms, and I'm training at fitness academies and things like that, while guys are training at America Top Team and some of these bigger gyms. So like I said, I really kind of pulled the reins back, focused on what was truly important to me, and just fixing some of the little minor problems that I was having.
Yeah, you can take on the world. You just need a little bit more notice about it first.
Absolutely.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Do you know what? And MMA is about learning as well. That's the thing. You always martial arts itself is something that you learn. It's an education. You're never gonna know everything. And for example, like you say, not just in fighting, it's taking the right fight, being prepared. Outside of the cage, there's a lot more to it than just. So you've taken it on board. You've learned a lesson. So 2006, you can finish this year off. 2016, it's a different mindset. Like you say, you got a new gym. You feel you almost feel like you're at home now. You've got a coach, hopefully, that is honest and direct and can put you in a place where you're confident in your training and you're confident in your fight, and that's the key part. Not every fighter can find the right coach or has the right mindset to even sit there and question what the coach is doing, because some fighters will have a coach that maybe because they don't know any better, they won't look anywhere else, and they think, right, well, this is how it should be, and you've hopefully found the right suit for you. Found
when
the right
everything starts clicking.
Yeah, the right glove that fits the hand, so to speak.
Yeah, I trained under Mark Fiore for about 6 months, and when I was under him, he had a gym up here in Springfield, and it was absolutely amazing. Just I grew so much in the short amount of time that he was here, and like I said, I'm just getting back to that. So yeah, man, the key word that you said there was confidence in your coach, confidence in your training partners, and confidence in your overall training. If you show up on fight night and you're you're not confident in the people who are, sitting behind you while you're in that cage or in that ring, then you're as good as dead, because you're only as strong as the weakest link on your team, man. So if you don't have a good group of guys who are behind you and are willing to help you achieve that goal as much as you want to achieve it, then you're basically just running around in circles. So yeah, man, I think I'm at a lot better place than I was 4 months ago, and for about the last half of 2014 and all of 2015, I was basically doing this thing on my own, with a couple of guys who I grew up training with, through the martial arts aspect. And now it's just, it's really coming full circle. I've grown a substantial amount, just mentally, and, I matured so much that, it's amazing to see how much you could change, in such a short period of time when you go through so much negativity. Like I said, in wrestling, I never once lost 2 matches in a row throughout my whole entire career, and to go to losing, 3 out of my last 4 fights is just devastating to me. And I obviously had to do some real soul search of what was going wrong, and I think the whole key factor came back to just the confidence in the people I was putting myself around, and I got rid of some of the negativity of some of the people who weren't in this for the right reasons, and was just kind of using me to advance themselves in their career. So like I said, it's the biggest thing is that confidence and the growing factor of just becoming better than what I was.
And Jay, you've got a great opportunity to do it on the 14th. We will never say good luck. We just want to say have a great fight. It's going to be a huge night. It's going to be a good way for you to hopefully to end the year. You can end the year on a big bang, so to speak, and look forward to 2016. Jake, for people that maybe want to follow you on social media and maybe join in on this kind of journey where you hopefully turned the corner now in a way, how can people do that?
Yeah, absolutely. You can always find me on Twitter at Jake that's JAKETHE_GR8, Jake the Great. You can also find me on Facebook as Jake the Great Constant. I'd like to take this time, thank my sponsors and all that good stuff. Thank all the people who have stuck with me through this last year, and Dave Utinsky at the Body Quest has been substantially beneficial to my career since the start of it. There's just a lot of really good people who I couldn't be doing what I'm doing today without them. Dennis Gaddis out at Green Nissan has been tremendous as well, and Andrew Staforza at the barbershop. These are all great people who believe in me as much as I do myself, and the sky's the limit when you have those kind of people around you.
Hey, every person like that is huge on the kind of supportive side, and it's very much needed in this sport. Do you want to give a shout out then to your coaches, your training partners, people who've helped you get ready for this fight, and hopefully going to help you out in the future as well?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Justin J. Ray Robbins is an absolutely amazing boxing coach. The kid's been fighting for the better half of 15 years, and he was kind of stepped in and took over as my coach these last 4 or 5 months, and it's just been tremendous. Him and Ryan Mohan, who train out of Corrective Exercise, he's one of the best personal trainers out there. The guy has a master's in sports science, so he's just phenomenal. And Matt Williams always has been my right hand man for my whole career since the first amateur fight that I ever stepped in for. So I definitely have to give huge props to those fellas. And
obviously, like we said before, have a great time, have a great experience, enjoy the whole weekend, and enjoy your training and getting that confidence back and getting yourself back on that win streak.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. That's all this is about, is enjoying life, enjoying the ride, and meeting new people, man, is probably one of my favorite things about this sport. It's people really underestimate the family aspect of combat sports, man. I met a crazy amount of fantastic people throughout this sport, man, and I think passed through my life, everybody has touched me in some way. So I'm very thankful to be able to, have this conversation with you guys and to prepare myself for November 14th. And, Jesse Finney, I always got to thank him and Rob Donaker. They do a fantastic job on putting on some of the best fights in the Midwest, and they've really built Shamrock Fighting Championships up to be something phenomenal. And November 14th is going to be nothing short of spectacular. Anytime you put kickboxing, boxing, and MMA on the same card, it's going to make for a special evening.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're hitting everyone's flavours then, aren't you?
You do, yeah. You're guaranteed to have an entertaining night.
You're satisfying everyone then, aren't you?
And Jake, it's been a pleasure for us having you on as well. We love getting new guests on, speaking to new people and hearing, new stories and angle. It's just great for us as well. So thank you very much for your time.
Hey, not a problem. You gentlemen have a great afternoon, and I hope you guys tune in November 14th and check out the fights.
Hey, we will. We're across the pond in the UK, but we will be checking it out.
Hey, it's perfect. You guys can get it on online on pay-per-view. I believe you go to shamrockfightingchampionships.com. So
we can indeed.
Make sure you guys check it out.
We will do, and we tell everyone else to say, my friend.
And we suggest they do that.
Yeah.